Pick up your baggage from my brain. The only place where we remain. I thought that time would lobotomize what I held dear. Now I realize it's all the same. The pieces left are yours to claim. Pick up your baggage from my brain.
Get over here!
Come here. We're whispering to each other about how much we're enjoying it.
Wait, is that a record?
It is a record.
That's a record?
It is a record, and I signed it for I got a CD too.
Oh my God, it's a record.
It's a record, yeah.
I'm gonna.
Oh, I love you
gonna
already.
give you a,
Welcome to the show.
Thank you very much. Yes.
This is so refreshing. I'm geeking out right now.
I've got in boxes of them at the house, so, you know.
Oh, you do?
Yes, I do, but I'm having a record release party because it was so cool to actually get vinyl, so I wanted to have a
We
separate.
can hold it.
Yeah.
yes.
It was so much
Fondle
fun.
it.
Oh, man. This is great. This is your second album, right?
Yes, but that's only my first vinyl because, yeah.
This is beautiful.
Thank you.
I'm such a nerd right now.
No, that's how I felt too. It was like, you know,
Oh, wow.
it felt more like tangible and real than getting a CD or an MP3 or even finishing the actual record. Having that in your hand felt like
This is what we used to buy.
But it was
God.
so much fun.
Just touch and feel and texture.
Oh.
Ooh, and liner notes. I miss liner notes.
Oh my God. And lyrics. Derek, this is really beautiful.
Thank you.
Wow. Oh, so beautiful. You know, the only thing I was thrown off by tonight walking in was the pictures I had seen of you. He had like his little scruff and you're clean shaven.
I shaved today.
Oh, you did?
I did.
So adorable. I love the title of the album because
Thank you.
I you know, like when you read things, it's like, okay, bicycling in quicksand, and then I really thought about it and I was like, oh, that's good. That's really good.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's great. Like all of Derek's press was saying that he's like, what is it, the 70s, like 80s Pet Shop Boys synthesizer, you know, and I was like, okay. And then I was listening to the songs and I was just like, oh yeah, this is good. This is great. And yeah, total Pet Shop Boys, and like I loved. Oh, I'm such a nerd. Like I
well,
talk.
we geek out all the time.
No,
I do.
that's
Like,
great.
I get so like, wow! I'm just so impressed, you know. But I was writing down the songs that I really liked, and then I thought, well, I shouldn't tell him which ones I really like because I have to really listen to the whole album multiple times because it's an album.
It's an album.
You don't see these anymore.
Yeah, that's what we only did 10 songs. We could have 5 on the front, 5 on the back, because you have a 44-minute limit for vinyl, so you can only get 22 minutes on one side and 22 on the other. Which is why back in the day, albums were usually smaller. Then when CDs kind of became big, people were having 13, 14 songs and bonus tracks because you had a much bigger, you know, time frame you could fill. But this is a 44-minute thing.
So now
I can't see your eyes. Can you just tilt your head back a little bit?
I want to ask you a question because, you know, back when we were youngsters
Yes.
and we bought albums, they generally had a story, you know, like you would listen to the whole thing and you'd listen multiple times. So what's the story for this album?
This, the overarching story, the bicycling in quicksand, is it's about kind of trying to pull yourself out of the muck that is life. That like you know that it's going to be messy to dig yourself out of this, but if you don't, you're going to sink into it. And it could be attributed to many things. It could be like some people the fear of change or the fear of growing older or whatever, or just dealing with all those to-do lists. I mean, it can be as banal as that, But it's for me, it was about where I was in my life and wanting to kind of clear things up, but knowing in doing so that you're gonna have to make a bigger mess to do it. And that's what the bicycling in quicksand, because think about it, like you'd be pedaling and mud would be flying everywhere and you have to keep doing it or you'll sink. So you kind of have to keep at it or else there's no sense.
When I would meet with city council members in New York City as part of Queerocracy, when we wanted the city council to endorse California Representative Barbara Lee's Repeal HIV Discrimination Act, which is kind of unfortunately named. The first question that would come out sooner or later, or a stickling question would be, you know, we're not talking about making it okay to intentionally infect people, right? That's not what's under discussion. And well, no, the issue is you couldn't even say if somebody did it intentionally because prosecutors often don't care. Go through a string of prosecutions, what was the standard ultimately employed? In Iowa last year, a historic reform occurred in their criminal law where they had one of the most draconian laws on the books, and they reformed it very well after a long slog wherein activists had to, one by one, learn to convince legislators that they were not trying to absolve intentional transmission.
I mean, there is a level of vigilance that is necessary. And I do want to remind the viewers that we are live tonight, 718-460-9802. If you have any questions or comments and you want to chime in on the conversation, we have about 10 more minutes on this topic, and we welcome your participation.
So the concern I have is that you know, activists, they assure lawmakers, and a consensus grows, and a very positive thing happens wherein the national effort to reform HIV criminal laws gets a big break, gets its first big yes in hostile territory with a unanimous vote from both houses of a Republican-controlled legislature and signed by a Republican governor. All of them back this thing. And only for the sacrifice in some activists' eyes, because some activists call this effort a sellout, that a lot was left on the table because some activists feel you must never talk about intent. You must never consider prosecution, and that becomes a concern of mine as an HIV positive man, because in my estimation, that talk dooms the effort. People immediately shut down. They shut down comprehensively.
Is this something that you agree with in your experience as well?
I don't agree. I mean, the reason why I know this issue so well is because it happened to me. I was prosecuted in Louisiana for not disclosing my status to a partner, and the charge was intentional exposure to the AIDS virus. And the way I see it, as I said earlier, you know, HIV is not something that people automatically know how to deal and how to cope with. Unfortunately, many people, especially my community, African-American community, especially in the South, where the epidemic is so prevalent, they're not always aware of these laws. They're not aware of the legal implications of these laws. And the problem is these laws are impacting the community of people, a population of people who are already dealing with barriers, you know, facing that adversity, dealing with disparities. And it's unfortunate that there are laws that work against them, you know, and creates undue hardships, makes them sex offenders. You know, in the state of Louisiana, I'm a registered sex offender, and still is for 15 years here in the U.S. And also, you can go to prison up to 30 years. And then you become a convicted felon. And so these just create and add more labels to people that are already marginalized. Whether you use drugs, whether you're a sex worker, whether you have immigration violations, or whatever, if you're a person living with HIV and you have, you know, fallen these issues, you're going to have more hardship added to your life. And this is not the way. I don't think this is public health's way of solving this issue around HIV. We want people to get tested. We want people to be able to disclose. But unfortunately, we live in such a stigmatized community that does not allow for that. And even our legal system, judges, prosecutors, defense attorneys, no one understands HIV. They don't know anything about it. So they first have to be educated about the real risk and routes of transmission of HIV. And then secondly, they need to understand the legal implications of these laws and how they really affect a person's life. And so we're basically prosecuting people or criminalizing them for just living with HIV, whether there's real risk or not.
Huh? Your TV cherry?
Yes, my TV cherry. Yes.
How do you feel?
Definitely. I feel great. You two are wonderful hosts. So very comfortable, very excited to be here.
Well, good.
Yeah.
You are comfortable because you're not sweating.
Yeah, well, where you could see it.
Sometimes when guests come and they're like schwitzing, it's just like, it's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, when he stands up, he's going to leave a mark.
No, come on.
No, I'm going to leave a mark. I shouldn't have wore this blue because it's just going to...
No. Adorable. So what's going on, Sal?
Nothing much. As John said, this is my TV cherry, but me and John have known each other for like over a decade, and I think John, he was talking about some type of fetish that I wasn't ready for 10 years ago.
It's called coming out.
Oh.
But yeah, so I'm here. Out.
Well, how long have you been in New York now?
I've been in New York a year and 4 months.
Because you're a Buffalonian.
A Buffalonian, yes. Born and raised, super cold, super
You've only been
violent.
here for a year?
A year and 4 months. But I was so ready to move. I just feel like extra acclimated because I was just like this ready to dive into it. But I've like nothing, the crazy stuff has happened, but I absolutely love it. And so.
Wait, Buffalo, isn't Ani DeFranco from Buffalo?
Yes.
Does she employ like everybody in Buffalo?
I don't know if she does. I know the city of Buffalo is just like its own little habitat in itself.
I've never been. I'm so intrigued.
Don't go. Don't go. Let's start that. Unless you like to be cold. People who usually go to Buffalo love to be victims. So.
Or they're up there for school.
Yes, or they're out there for school. We have really good schools, I will say that. Yeah. I'm not a college graduate. I'm a trade school graduate.
That's better. You work with your hands.
Yeah.
That's more attractive sometimes.
Yeah.
And this is my
first,
TV.
Yeah, first time I saw you, I said, that man is straight.
Really? No.
I'm teasing.
Oh, wait, you went to massage school.
I did go to massage school. Massage therapist.
Are you licensed in New York State?
The state of New York licensed this.
That's awesome. Did you go to the Swedish Institute?
No, I went to the New York Institute of Massage in Buffalo.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so the class of October should be happy to see this. So, yeah.
But wait, what are you doing besides that?
Stand-up comedy
What?
all over New York City. Yes.
Good.
Yes, I absolutely love it. It's something I always wanted to do, but never really like pursued in depth in Buffalo, because like the scene is so small, and I knew just like I kind of had to dive into it out here. But like I said again, some people have it like really hard. Luckily, so far, it is so hard to do, but I have met some of the most amazing producers, fellow comedians, even though like we're all like twisted people. I've been so lucky so far just to like fall in the hands and become acquainted with the right people, so.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
When are you performing next?
When am I performing next? Actually, Saturday at 10 p.m. at QED in Astoria.
I know
It's
that
a new
place.
yeah, it's a new
Whose
kind
show
of.
are you doing?
I'm doing Freddie G's show.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's going to be really fun. QED Saturday night, and then Sunday and Monday, Stand Up New York on the Upper West Side.
Nice.
So.
But when did you first have the inkling that you had the comedy bug?
Probably when I was.
When you were a teenage black girl?
When I was a teenage black. Let me talk to you about that, John. No, probably that came from me just being a terrible kid, and my mom just tried to like shape that. And I give my mom a lot of credit because she was a single mom and I was a terrible kid. But still, she would take me to like spa day with her. Or at least that's what she called it when she left me in a hot car. So.
Oh, are you an only child?
No, I have a little sister.
Oh,
She doesn't
Jesus.
follow in my footsteps. She's so good and little, and I wanted to be like a black girl as a teenager. And then I looked in the mirror one day and I was like, "You're not." So.
Were you really?